So first on our list we have cups. That's it, just a simple cup. I have two types here. I have this Addis cup and this plastic clear cup, but both of them I use for different jobs. The Addis cup with the screw cap, as you can see here, it screws on and off. What I use this for is I put calcium powder in the bottom and I shake up insects in these. These are really good. You can see the height of them, sort of about hand size. And you can screw the cap on, shake up insects without them jumping everywhere, which is really handy. And these cups, just a little open shut lid. I use these for defrosting mice in. Really important to have lots of cups. They're important for lots of different jobs. I use them for just two things, but I do have a range of them. One of them I'll defrost a mouse in that one, say. Then when it's dry, hold it in this until I'm ready to feed it. This I have plain calcium. This I have calcium with D3. So you have lots of cups, lots of different jobs, and I use them all the time. So yeah, they're a really important item. The second thing on the list, it's sort of two items, but I've classed them as one because they're for the same sort of thing. We have a little plastic spray bottle here and a Pepsi bottle that says Reptile water on it, just with some tape and then a marker pen. I put that on. The spray bottle is important for misting down. You spray it, if your reptile needs to shed and struggling, you can spray it over them and then the water can hydrate them and help them shed. Or if you have any sphagnum moss or something like that in a moist hide, you can use that to wet it down. And the big bottle, what I use this for is I fill it up with water, and then I'm a fan of using reptile safe products like Zoomed's ReptiSafe, just to remove all the chlorine and chemicals from the water to make it more natural and safer for your pets to drink from. So I just fill up this 2-litre bottle. It's a Pepsi bottle, but it doesn't matter, you can use whatever as long as it's big enough. And then this is fine. If I go on holiday, there's always going to be enough water left that somebody can use to top them up with. And you don't have to be changing this every 5 days like with the smaller bottle. So yeah, it's really handy. You don't have to keep getting out the ReptiSafe every time you change your water bowl. And you can just have it on hand in a cupboard and it makes things nice and easy. These, I am sure a lot of you have probably, if you have reptiles, you'll have them. But if you're going to get one and you've not heard of this, then it's quite important to know. These are tongs, tweezers and forceps, or just plastic tweezers, whatever you want to call them. These are the plastic ones, the tweezers and the tongs. Now these are a foot long, these not too short, and these just a bit more than them. I use them all for different jobs. The big ones I use for handling mice when I'm feeding me snake, because if you hold the mouse by the tail yourself, it could mistake your hand because it's nice and warm and it's moving, and it'll smell a mouse if you touched it. So the snake might strike at your hand. These I use for picking out, spot cleaning really, picking out poo and leftover food and stuff like that. And these are used for feeding insects to my leopard gecko. I don't really like just dumping them in, letting her hunt, because they can bother her and they can climb up and she can't reach them. And they can eat your gecko's waste and then your gecko eats them, which isn't healthy. But the plastic ones, much better than these, because you can get your fingers closer and you can sort of feel how much pressure you're putting on a bit better so you don't crush things like wax worms. And they also have nice rough, if you can hear that, rough edges to keep a nice grip. So yeah, you need a range of tongs and they really will help you out. Number 4, cleaning products. First we have toilet roll, kitchen roll, and then we have just some Viv Clean by ProRep here. It's essential that you've got cleaning stuff, especially kitchen roll. I go through so much kitchen roll. I use this, spraying down dirty bowls, dirty cages, cleaning out and stuff. And this I use for pretty much everything. Picking up waste, wiping things down, drying things, spillages of water bowls. Toilet roll I don't use so much because it's just not got the rough surface of kitchen roll. But it's very important that you have cleaning stuff. When you get in a reptile, you don't really think, what am I going to use to spray it out? And if you do, you just think, oh, I could just use bleach or household. Well, no, not really, because you don't know what chemicals are in that stuff, and you don't know what they're going to do to your reptiles, so just be safe. Get some Viv Clean or something, a similar product, and then you can know that what you're using isn't going to hurt your reptile. This next item, I'm pretty sure a lot of you, even people who've got the reptiles more than me, probably might not have one of these, or they do and you've not thought of using it. It's just a mercury in glass or alcohol in glass, whatever it is, thermometer. Now these you might think, hang on, what am I going to do with that? I'm not going to read the temperature in the cages. You want to use digital or temp gun for that. But this is very useful. Because if you're defrosting mice or something, then if you have a picky feeder, like me, my corn snake, he's a bit picky, and he'll only strike feed very, very rarely. He's only done it twice actually. But if I heat up the mouse, then he sometimes strikes for it, and he usually goes for it a bit quicker. But with this, you can read how hot it is, so it's not going to burn the mouth of your snake or something like that. And also, if you need to give your pet a soak to get stuck shed skin off, toes on a leopard gecko or something like that. I actually did that the other week, but it was stuck on her nose actually. You can use one of those to read the temperature of the bath water in the little tub so that it's not too hot, because obviously humans have a body temperature of about 37.5 Celsius, but reptiles, they need it lower. Their hotspot's 30. So 30 to a person, that's going to feel cool if anything. It actually does feel cool when you touch the water, and you'd probably put it a bit warm, and there is a risk. Without a thermometer, you could result in thermal shock. So it is just safe. These are only cheap, maybe £2. Get them from the fish section in your pet store, and yeah, they're really useful. Next, this item, it might not apply to everybody, but it certainly applies to me, and it'll probably apply to a lot of people in the UK, is a pair of just handheld scissors. Now, if you're in the UK, maybe not in the US, I don't know what you've got there or other countries, but in Pets at Home, the retail store here for animals, when you get your mice for your snakes, they come in little white bags, and trying to tear them open with your hands would probably be too hard because it's quite stiff. So I just like to use a little pair of scissors to cut them open. These are also handy if you have to brain the mouse, which I won't go into detail if you're squeamish. I've not put a warning on this video. But if you do have to do something like that, scissors can be handy for that job. So it's always good to have a pair of scissors around. You might not use them much. You might only use them for feeding mice to your reptiles, or you might get them from somewhere else with a knot bite, whatever. But scissors, you're probably going to need them at some stage, so yeah, they're always handy to have on hand. Very basic, very simple. What we have here is some electronic kitchen scales. You're going to definitely use these at some point, especially if you get a baby animal or a rescue that's sick. Use these just for weighing your animals, for checking the weight is okay and they're not sick or anything. Really essential just for maintenance to check that your pet's alright. And make sure you can get one that can read to the nearest gram or something. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that reading. Let's weigh the toilet roll from earlier. 35 grams there. It's just important, if you can get stuff down to the gram like that, you really know how much your pet's weighing. You know if it's gaining or losing weight, whether it's healthy, whether you need to go to the vet, whether everything's okay. These are just so important, and I think everybody who has any pet that can fit on them should really definitely have them. So on to number 8, hand gel. This is very important if you have more than one herp or pet, whatever. If you need to clean your hands, it can be a chore going to the sink, coming back, forgetting you've done something, needing to wash your hands again, because obviously it's very important you wash your hands before and after you've handled reptiles or gone near them or anything. Probably more important going into them actually, into the cages and whatnot, because what you bring in is probably a lot more dangerous than what they could give you. People say, oh, you could get salmonella, but what you could give them, you could kill your pet, and there's only a small risk of salmonella really, so make sure you use this. It's just hygienic gel stuff, dries on your hands. Make sure you've got something like that, because going in and out of reptile cages, washing your hands, my skin does get kind of cracked quite easily, so making them wet all the time isn't that good. Using this, it can save your hands and save you a lot of time just rubbing it on. I'll even show you, nice and quick. Just squirt a bit on, rub it in, and dry. You can go into your reptile enclosure, not pick up any germs, and not give anything to them. So yeah, let's get on to number 9. Data sheets. You definitely want these. Like most things in the list, you definitely need it. Here we just have the little sheet that I use for writing down what red my corn snake has eaten and when. As you can see, eating refused there, eating, and then he started being a bit picky recently, only eating smalls and mediums unfortunately. But it's just important. If Red were to get sick, I could take this to the vet and say he started going funny eating around here, but he was still eating a bit, so I thought he was okay or something like that. You can have loads of these for the weight of your pets, when you got them, when the birthdays are, what name there is for each and every one of them, and of course when they ate. I actually only have one. I should probably have more, to be honest, but I only really record the weights of my pets if they're dropping down significantly or if they're brumating, which has only happened once, and I've never ever seen any drastic weight loss in any of them, so I've never really had to record the weights. But it is important to have something like this on hand where you can record what your pets have been up to and how they're doing. Last but most certainly not least is boxes. Lots and lots of plastic boxes. Here we just have one. This is from my corn snake. I've also got one back here that I use for my leopard gecko. What you want these for? If you have to take your pet somewhere, the vet, a holiday place where someone's going to look after it, anything like that, you're going to need boxes to carry them in. Here for Cleo, the leopard gecko, we just have an old cricket tub, or locust tub I should say, because she doesn't eat crickets, she doesn't like them. This comes with your snakes if you get them from Pets at Home like I did. You probably have to buy something separately if you get them from a breeder or the Doncaster show, if that's where you get your pets from. But they can be used for lots of things as well as carrying pets. I put this on the scales, as shown you earlier, because my snake won't sit on them, he moves, and same for Cleo, I have to put him in this. Just tear off the scales and then you can weigh them in the box, and that works really well and effectively. So there we have it. Finally, we've got through everything that I had on this list. In fact, I actually had more things, but I thought, let's round it off to 10 because what a number. But anyway, I hope that you did enjoy this JTB Reptiles video, and if you have stayed to the end, thank you so much. You could do me another favour, and I'll be so grateful if you could just share this video, like it, and to let me know that you are one that has stayed until the end. Leave the comment fence. Yes, taking my inspiration from outdoors. Anyway, leave fence in the comment section if you have, and it's about time that we ended this video because it's already gone on too long, even though I've talked as fast as I can. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.